Hi and welcome to CBN4's Primetime News for this evening. I'm your presenter, Alian Christopher. First up tonight, the General Manager of the Dominica Water and Sewerage Company, Bernard Etinoff, has announced that 80% of the people of Dominica has access again to potable water. The General Manager of DOWASCO stated at a press briefing held earlier today that DOWASCO must revisit its water system as quite a bit of are serving as temporary. Etinoff also indicated that there are still communities without potable water.
That in the new year, we still have some communities without access to potable water. The number of those, about 7 water systems, are still down and out. We are happy, however, to report today that part of the challenge that we have, which is electricity, we are able to overcome in part because of the generous contributions of electricians Without Borders, who have donated to DOWASCO an amount of 8 generators. We received those yesterday. They are now in our stores, and we will begin as early as Monday to deploy those where they have to go and to begin to pump water to those communities. Mrs. James, our operations manager, will tell you in a while where those generators will be placed. But we are very grateful to our friends who have donated these generators, and the people will benefit.
Etinoff went on to say that there are still a number of challenges that DOWASCO continues to face in trying to restore its water systems post-Hurricane Maria. One such challenge is that of acquiring pipes and fittings from outside of Dominica.
Pipes and fittings and other supplies, it does take some time to get those from outside into Dominica. And with regards to shipping, sometimes the boat would come and kind of dock for a day or two, would go to another port and then come back. And so we have had those challenges, and those two have contributed to the delays that we're experiencing.
The General Manager also notes that access still remains a major hurdle in the way forward for DOWASCO.
Access to many of our sites still remain a major issue. We are still trying to create access to build roads, so that we can get to intakes, get to pumping stations, get equipment and get pipes in those areas so that we can begin to provide water to the communities. So in a nutshell, some of the systems that we expected to restore before Christmas, we can now say will be restored some by mid-January, and 1 or 2, I believe, towards the end of January 2018. But by and large, with the exception of 3 systems, I believe all of the others will be restored this year.
Labour Commissioner Matthew Lebland's statement after the passing of Hurricane Maria, in which he stated that employers have been calling their employees to work to clean and then sending them home is not a lawful practice, seemed to have struck a nerve on Achille Joseph, president of the Dominica Employers Federation. Joseph believes that it would be ill-advised for an employer who had his goods looted and his property destroyed and with no income to keep his workers on payroll and still hire a cleaning crew. Labour Commissioner Lebland states that the law has made provision for employers to lay off the workers if they are not able to conduct business. Lebland says that he believes that he was taken entirely out of context when he stated that while it was not lawful, an employer may ask his or her employee to assist in the cleanup of the property, but they are not obliged to do so.
Indicate that it was illegal. I did in fact indicate that it was unjust and unfair. And the reason why I said so, it is not to say that employees cannot assist in the cleaning of their places. As a matter of fact, we have numerous experience of employees volunteering and going to their workplace and assisting the employers in cleaning the workplace. We also have the cases where the employers engaged the employees and invited them to, and they went. We do have cases where employees were unable to go, where the employers invited them to go and they were unable to go. And I needed to clarify this matter because the complaints we were getting from employees is that they felt that they were being punished with termination of employment when they did not show up to clean. And I had to clarify the matter, because in truth and in fact, if a storm has passed and there is massive devastation and the employers need assistance to clean, they can invite the employees to clean, or the employees can volunteer to do so. They are not obliged by law to do so, and this is a fact. The employees are returned. For example, if you have an accountant or a salesperson or a cashier or an IT person, how did that person become a manual worker? It's not fair to assume that they can just come to clean, or they ought to come to clean, which is not part of the employment contract, which is not part of their collective agreement, and expected that their cleaning would be normal work and that they would be paid as if they were at work normally. There is no work.
Libla mentioned that Labour Division and the Dominica Employers Federation have worked together and agreed on many things. However, Libla states that where the law is concerned, it makes provision for the employer to lay off his or her employee in the absence of work.
Empathizes with the damage that has been done to the business. The law provides facilities for the employers to deal in situations as this, and the law is very specific in indicating in case of force majeure or in case of acts of God. For example, Maria was a typical example of that. No one called the hurricane upon themselves. The hurricane came and caused massive destruction, not only to businesses, but also to the employees and their homes. So everyone has been affected. And in that case, we need dialogue. We need dialogue between employers and employees to see how we can proceed. Now, my concern is that if the law provides facilities for the employer, where business has shut down, is slow, or there is significant damage, and the employer is no longer able to conduct economic activities, why don't the employer employ the facilities that is provided for in law to lay off the workers? If you lay off the worker because you don't have work, then you can't claim that the worker is on your payroll. You can call them back when work resumes, or when you are about to resume work, if there is work for them to do. And if you can't call them back because there's no work, there is still the redundancy provisions that are provided for in law. But the problem is, if the employers lay off the workers, then the workers, they do not feel that they have the workers available to do the cleaning. And what I'm saying is, it is not fair, because the persons also have to do cleaning at their homes. Their homes were damaged too. Your place was damaged. It is unfair to try to project a sort of the victim kind of perception that employers have to keep workers on their payroll and are required by the Labour Division to hire people to clean their place. That is not what the Labour Commission was saying. The employees can be engaged to clean the place, but they should be asked to.
Leblanc admits that the Labour Division has laws that provides proper direction for the employers and employees alike in those circumstances. He noted that some employees feel that they have been used to provide cleaning services in the company in which they worked.
The place has been devastated by floods and by rains and by wind, and you now want to clean up to maybe start back or maybe never start back. As a matter of fact, many workers were asked to stay on to clean, were not laid off or made redundant, and after the cleaning finished, they were let off without any formal information. Up to now, they do not have any letter telling them what the status is. They're not sure if they're going to be called back. They're not sure if work is going to resume, but they was there in the cleaning up. But they're not continuing being worked. They're not being paid a wage. They're not on any payroll, but they're not sure if they're laid off or if they're made redundant. Some of the employers refuse to inform the workers that their posts have been made redundant because they do not want to pay the redundancy benefit.
The Labour Commissioner says that while it is not illegal for employees to assist their employers or for employers to seek the assistance of their employees, he believes that it is unfair and unjust to treat the employees as a disposable object. The Commissioner lamented that we should not become dehumanized because the storm has destroyed us, considering that it is the situation. Employees and employers alike needs each other. And also making our headlines, a member of the United Workers' Party and opposition member of the Parliament has reportedly announced his intention not to contest the next general election. In a letter to the United Workers' Party, Joshua Francis expressed profound gratitude for the experience in the political community, but described the journey as very turbulent. Francis said in his letter that he confronts unexpected results which are deep and require his full attention. He also stated that his decision to withdraw from the political space is to cure some issues, and the announcement of his resignation would allow the United Workers' Party to identify and work with a potential candidate for the next general election. Francis also indicated that his current term would be fulfilled as a parliamentarian and vowed to serve the Roseau South constituency for a full term. Joshua said in his resignation letter that he will not disregard the social and moral contract with his constituents. And speaking at a recent press briefing, Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerrit, has gone on to address what he described as a misunderstanding of the public in respect to funds donated by the government of China for military assistance.
Government of China signed a number of agreements. There was some misunderstanding by some section of the population in respect to military assistance. Yes, we know that we don't have a military in Dominica, but we have military cooperation with many countries around the world, including the United States, where they help us train police. They provide us with assets, vehicles, and communication equipment, and so forth. And the $3 or so million that will come under this military cooperation, we will determine what we want for this $3 million. So it will be in the form of equipment.
The Prime Minister went on to say that the funds provided by the Chinese government doesn't necessarily have to be for the police.
For public works, in terms of heavy equipment and other, it could be ambulances, it could be a fire truck for the Douglas Childs Airport or for Roseau. So we are finalizing that list with advice from the various public servants, and we expect by next week to submit that list to the government of China.
And stay tuned for more local news highlights after this break. And welcome back to CBN4's Primetime News Package. The Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce has announced a new initiative, Connect to Rebuild. The Connect to Rebuild initiative is a collaboration between the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce and Latitude Consultants. The goal of this initiative is to support Dominica's rebuilding efforts post-Hurricane Maria by securing assistance for qualified small businesses. According to the DAIC, after identifying the needs of small businesses, the DAIC will seek to secure fundings so that the qualifying businesses are enabled to offer the goods and services they are known for as quickly as possible. With this new initiative, persons with small businesses are being asked to apply and fill out an online application. The application deadline is the 31st of January 2018. To find the application, you can visit the CBN4 website and click the application link below the story or contact the DAIC office at telephone numbers 449-1962 or 235-1962. And as cruise ships are set to arrive early in January 2018, as stated by the Minister for Tourism, Robert Tong, the Dominica Hotel and Tourism Association says that they are preparing to accommodate a limited cruise season. Executive Vice President of the DHTA, Kevin Francis, says that the DHTA is presently holding assessments to see how best they can assist its members for the cruise season.
Are part of a tourism task force that it brings together different stakeholders as well as the public sector, and private sector to basically get a game plan ready for the cruise season in January. We started this sometime in November, and it is a 60-day plan for us to get ready for January 1st. So there are a few things that we've identified. We've identified a few sites, tourist attractions that needs to be ready for January. So some of the more common ones like the Emerald Pool, Trafalgar Falls, Indian River, and the likes. And apart from that, we're trying to make sure that the cruise ship berths are ready. So as we speak now, we have work going on the roads of cruise ship berth.
Meantime, Francis noted that Hurricane Maria's devastation to the tourism industry had impacted many who make a living directly and indirectly from the sector. For that reason, the DHTA has made several recommendations to the government to assist.
Right now, our recommendations have been given to the government and the public sector, and they have really been, sticking to it and taking our recommendations. One of the recommendations that we have seen is the loan facility at the Aid Bank, which was currently at 3%, and now it's at 2%. It's also been expanded to include more tourism participants, not just accommodation sector, because initially it was for the upgrade of hotels. We've also been speaking about grants to clear debris. There are, like the Ministry of Tourism has been saying, debris that's about 2-3 feet under the sand in the beach or in the water in the ocean, or even just in the rainforest. So that's a massive cleanup that needs to be undertaken, and we've been working with the Ministry of Tourism to ensure that we have some kind of funds allocated so we can get on with the business of cleaning.
Francis indicated that despite losses and the many setbacks caused by the disaster, some persons will still benefit from the cruise arrival.
They benefit from the cruise industry, specifically our tour operators, our taxi drivers, our vendors. And we've been working along with these groups of people to assess what is it that they actually need to get on. Like the taxi association, for instance, Combined Taxi, they have about maybe 50 or 60% of their fleet ready. And that's good, but the other 40% we have to accommodate for. So we're also working along with the Ministry of Tourism and the DDA to see how we can expedite some certifications and ensure that all vehicles are motorable. It may be okay for us to drive around with a broken windscreen, but it doesn't really look too good as a tourist product. So we have to make sure everybody is ready.
Francis stated that the more iconic sites in Dominica, such as the Boarding Lake, the Indian River and Emerald Pool, were given priority to ensure that they are safe and accessible. And also in the news tonight, With thoughts of cancelling all of the cultural activities following Hurricane Maria, the Cultural Division has given artists and writers an opportunity to be creative and to express their skills in writing or art. The prize-giving ceremony for the Independence 2017 Literary and Art Competition took place on Thursday at the Old Mill Cultural Center. Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence showed gratitude to all the participants of the Literary and Art Competition even after Hurricane Maria devastated Dominica and traumatized most of its people.
I congratulate you because you showed your creative skill and talent in simply taking part. That's one. But I think it also showed a certain level of courage and determination and drive to be able to, in the middle of all what was going on in Dominica, to have the focus to be able to do the paintings and to do the short stories and the poems. And of course, they are really beautiful works of art, and I want to congratulate you for that.
Raymond said that the Independence competitions served as a vehicle to express persons' skills and talents and to also serve as a platform.
Took part in the art, in the writing, the short story and the poetry competitions. Will not just, leave it there. They will now want to take it a step further and continue to develop their writing skills and their artistic skills. Both writing and art are very, very important skills in today's world. You need writers almost across the board, almost everywhere you go. In any office, you need to be able to write, and you need to be able to write well. And yet there are the opportunities for the creative writing, the short stories, the novels, the poems, you name it. And I was just thinking a while ago that St. Lucia won an international award many years ago with Derek Walcott, right in St. Lucia. He won a Nobel Prize for literature. And that's the top prize in the world, not just the Caribbean, the world. And he came from the Caribbean. And close to us, St. Lucia is very close to us. So it just shows that there's a lot of possibility for writing in Dominica. The same thing for art. You all know a lot of the famous, I should say, artists in Dominica, Earleton, Illingworth, Moses, and so on. So the artists who are here with us this afternoon and who took part, again, we want to encourage you. I'm not sure if it was the first time you painted, or maybe you had been painting before, but we want to encourage you not to just stop there, to try to take the art to another level. If you want to continue training here at the Old Mill, we are going to have classes from January.
Chief Cultural Officer Raymond Lawrence. Meantime, the top performers in the Independence 2017 Literary and Art Competition are as follows. In English poetry, the first place prize went to Leandra Landa, the second prize went to Yakima Coffee, and the third prize to Kellyanne Coppell. In short story, Delroy Williams won the first prize, Yakima Coffee won the second prize, and the third prize went to Michelle Bell, with Dale Peltier obtaining special recognition. In the art segment, the first prize went to Marshall Mack, the second prize went to Tyrone Benjamin, and the third prize went to Lily Barry. And in other news, Chief Executive Officer of Digicel Dominica, Nikki Maroye John Baptist, have indicated that Digicel remains committed to working on total network restoration post-Maria. She stated that Digicel has improved and further extended its mobile coverage to a number of communities.
I'm going to jump into the true update for Digicel. On our mobile services, we're pleased to inform we have further extended and improved our mobile coverage to the following areas, including Canefield East, River Estate, and sections of Morne Daniel, Massac, Canefield, Roger, and Springfield Estates, Petite Soufriere and Saint-Sauvé, Bourne, Calibishi, and sections of Woodford Hill, as well as the Melville Hall Airport, ZCAC 1 mile.
Prior to the areas that Digicel has extended its mobile services to, John Baptist noted that currently Digicel has specialized teams working with the local engineers to rebuild the more severely damaged structures. Meantime, For home entertainment, Digicel can boast of an increase in reconnection to high-speed internet and also TV.
With regards to our home entertainment, we are enthused to inform that since our last update, we have an increasing number of customers that have connected back on to the network for high-speed internet as well as digital TV. Our teams have worked day and night and have lit up Roseau, Bath Estates, Pottersville, and Goodwill north of the hospital. And that, of course, is thanks to Domlec for having done a tremendous effort in reconnecting these areas as well.
The Chief Executive Officer of Digicel, Dominica, says that Digicel is making every effort to connect its many valued customers before the Christmas holidays. And that takes us to the end of the Primetime News package for tonight. If you've missed any of the stories, you can catch up on CBN4.com or visit our Facebook page. Until our next broadcast, I am Alian Christopher saying thank you for watching.